Giving your characters a head is intuitive for some people, but for others, it can get sloppy. My head game was atrocious, so I studied some games models to improve the quality of my head. And now I want to give you my head workflow. We've already covered the first step in another video, which is the front face. So you can check out that free tutorial if you want. You can also grab it from my Patreon for a limited time along with this sectioned head example. Oh, and last quick plug, promise. The coupon is back for a limited time for my Colossal course. Details in description and end of video. First, a couple of final tweaks to my face. I just want more detail control in this jaw corner area. So I'm gonna cut in 3 transition triangles, which you will see a lot of in this workflow. While using the knife tool, I hold shift, and this locks in on the halfway point of faces, acting as a subdivision. Then I can just cut in from the corners like this to complete the transition. This is often used in anime character workflows to transition the density to double or half. And yes, this technique is used everywhere in anime gacha games. This is completely fine despite what your 3D prof says. Source, trust me bro. As you can see, that jaw corner curve isn't exactly that smooth, but this will help define it a little better. Now that we have a little more density to work with, we can just go to sculpt mode and I'll use the grab tool to make that area more smooth. Flipping back to my colored view, I saw that the corner got a little too jagged. I'm just gonna tone that down very slightly. Next, I'm gonna work with the side plane of the face. So selecting the side edge of the head, I'm gonna extrude it on the y-axis backwards. The distance is roughly the same distance to the bottom lip. Now I'm gonna select these and give them a placeholder face shadow color. That's not necessarily how it should be. We'll just, have a placeholder until we make the actual texture. The under chin angle is about 20 degrees. I'm going to draw a line and then sculpt the bottom of the chin to follow that very slight angle. Give the wireframe a check too to see that it's evenly spaced out. And then I'm going to loop cut it twice with Ctrl R and scroll wheel up once. Now we're going to do more transitions. The chin doesn't need as many loops compared to the face. So I'm using transition triangles but doing the method backwards to go half instead of double, by creating the triangles first and then dissolving the extra edges. So instead of cutting in extra edges, I dissolve these, and that will complete that transition. In this part, I'm gonna do the same thing because it was dense around the eye socket area, but we don't need all that on the side of the head. Make an adjustment pass in sculpt mode if you need it, and then we're gonna move on to the rest of the head by adding a cube to the scene, giving it a subdivision modifier, and cranking up levels viewport until it matches with our face's density. In this case, it was levels viewport 3, and it doesn't have to be the exact density, but it does have to be similar. So here I scale it into place. And yes, that head is huge, but don't worry, we'll shape it down. Let's line it up from the front and the side. And here I'll use auto mirror to automatically give it a mirror modifier. And from the side, I will delete this bottom quarter of the sphere. Then I'll take this half and move it backwards, then subdivide twice, then move this bottom quarter down, subdivide it twice. And I'll grab this part and move it down so that it matches with our chin angle. And while we're here, let's do a sculpting pass and make this skull more round. And importantly, from the front, we have to make these line up exactly with the face mesh. And let's do our best to line up the forehead verts with the top of the face verts. And during the face tutorial, we already pre-cut some transition triangles. So it is already matching, we just gotta move them into place as close as we can, like so. If you need to decrease loops, use transition triangles like this. If you need to add them, then use loop cuts. Here we got a mismatch, right? And I'll show you what I do in situations like that in a second. Here's another tweak on the quarter angle. Later I'll show you an easy guide lineup to get the perfect forehead size. This is definitely too big, so let's squash it down a little. More tweaks. By the way, don't worry that from the top it looks flat on the sides. Your skull does have a more flat plane on the sides. Gonna sculpt some more on the quarter angles and make the dome more circular. And that should be enough tweaks for now. I went ahead and added the same placeholder color, then joined the two objects. And here we can merge all of these points that are matching with MA, or you can do ML for merge at last if you want. Here where it's not matching, I'm just gonna create a loop cut at the top and edge slide with double G. Now I can continue to merge these points down. If it's a little off, just move it into place. This part also doesn't line up perfectly, but I can also move an edge like this. And there you go, then we can merge that point as well. Here's another merging technique. It's all the same concepts, just different ways of getting there. So I'm just selecting these points that would align to make rectangles. Ignoring n-gons for now, we will cut them into place later. So a lot of these rectangles, to have a nice shape, it goes from 3 to 2. And we will deal with that with transition triangles later. This one is 4 points to 2, so before I use a transition triangle, I'm going to use a transition triangle. Alright, so that's closed up. First, let's just cut across with a knife tool holding shift. That creates that localized subdivision. And close it out with one last cut at the top. And here, like I said, let's do a halving triangle transition on the side of the face so that it could be a 3 to 2, which will make another clean triangle transition further down the road. I'm going to edge slide some of these verts because they're not straight using G plus G. And this edge, which I will mark in green, it will be our transition point. So K for knife tool, hold shift, and cut these points all the way to there. Do some slides. And then you're set up to do, you guessed it, transition triangles. So cut in those corners, skip one here, and then do these top two. This keeps our triangle transitions localized to certain areas, keeping it neat and mostly out of the way for subdivisions in other areas. Forehead still too big. In the anime style, anywhere from 50-50 to 60-40 is the average ratio, so from chin to eyebrow and eyebrow to top of head. But like anything, this is not a hard rule. Like, there's always exceptions, like Android 18's big forehead. Oh, and I did change this area to the skin placeholder color, just in case you missed it. Anyways, what we will do now is add the neck. So add a circle to the seam with Shift A. Change verts to match your model. In my case, 12, and then I scale it down to about this proportion. It would be bigger for males. From the front, let's do about half of the width of the head. And the lineup is similar to the lineup we had before for the side of head angle, just a little further. And it does have a very slight angle as opposed to being completely upright. So let's extrude it. We can tweak the actual length later. Let's just get a visual. At the bottom of the head, delete the verts that would be the opening for the neck. I'm gonna have to move this slightly back to match the neck. Add a loop cut to keep things uniform, and then let's work on this neck to head transition. Delete a few more. That should be close enough. Let's just select this opening loop and make it more circular using Loop Tool's Relax. And now for the neck object, let's add an auto mirror to it. Same auto mirror as everything else. Then I join them with Ctrl J, and in edit mode I once again line up the verts and the loops by creating loop cuts where needed. So a couple loop cuts in the back, one here as well, and I think that is matching now. But rather than just doing bridge edge loops, we'll do something that creates a more smooth transition. I'll select these three edges, extrude them downwards, then I'll merge these two verts, purposely creating a pole here, but it will make for a smoother transition from the head to the neck. Then I'll start merging these points. And here I'm going to delete a vert because it's not lining up the way I want to. So what I do, delete that one vert, create a loop cut, slide it up, then create that face where I want, which is right there. And that's how I want it to transition to the rest of the neck. Here I do something similar to the back, which is I extrude these down and merge this point, creating a transition pole area. Smooth out this curve, of course, and that is pretty much the topology I want. I just gotta slide everything into place so that it looks neat and it has some uniform spacing. Be sure to fill this in, dissolve this vert right here, and slide those to fill in that space. And because of that little merge we did earlier on the front and the back, the result is that we get this nice flow on the back of the head and from the chin to the neck. Now as for the ear, I'm going to go 4 faces to the left and select these 3 faces, which are 3 faces away from the front face area. I'm going to delete these faces But before I create the ear, I'm going to create the jaw / under chin shadow area. And this can be accomplished with some more cuts. Just make sure that your cuts start and end on a corner and you will never have end gone. Cut from the ear opening to about this area on the chin. Then face select to that area that you just cut. And let's give it an even darker shadow color as a placeholder color. Again, this part is pretty flexible. You can cut it the way you want. It just has to have that jaw shape. And again, just cut from corner to avoid endgons. I do a sculpting pass here. I'm just going to leave these in because some people commenting that it just drastically changes out of nowhere, which is usually because I sculpt in between steps, along with some edge slides and other tweaks. I'm going to make the ear base a little smaller by doing a loop cut over and under it. Then I'll fill these faces in on the left. As for the ear itself, I'm going to take these 3 verts, duplicate them, and using a extrude, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Using face for that last one to create that edge between those 2 last points. And here I'll give you a visual. So this is why we do 3, 4, 3, 4, so that when you cut the edges in between, you get something like this, which is a super simplified ear. And let's do that cutting part I showed. So just cut 2 down and 4 across like this. And we can move the ear into place. We can select it all and extrude it. And one other thing I'll do, I'll loop cut this across the middle. Let's scale that up slightly. And to make it connect back to the opening, let's do a transition triangle. Yep, my favorite. And we deleted those 3 faces too, so that it can connect back to the original 3-face opening. Just make sure to dissolve those verts so that it's matching. And it's up to you how you bridge this. You can just straight up merge the opening points. I'm going to tweak the shape a little. Then I'm going to do Cruel Games Diabolical Simplification by merging all of those at the center. Then we'll just rely on texturing to give the ear details. I'll then rotate the ear to give it a more natural rotation towards the back. Get it as close as I can to the head. Then just merge those 4 points that are close together. So starting for the top, boom, number 2, boom, 3, boom, 4, boom. And then here there will be a triangle face on the top and bottom and 3 quads. Change the placeholder material on the ear so that it's in shadow. Then I'm going to sculpt the shape because this looks weird. And while I'm here, I'm just going to make the seams for the ears. And then I can also use Ctrl-L to select linked and then select seams so that it only selects the ear areas. Then in sculpt mode, I do face sets, face set from edit mode selection. And with face sets ticked on auto masking, I sculpt the ear into place. And you know what, let's do another transition triangle on the top of the ear like this for that extra loop cut that we created for the ear. And that is a topology complete, so you're just gonna have to do some tweaks wherever you find fit. And congratulations, you have successfully given your 3D character head. Oh, that's looking spiny there on the top of the head, so I sculpted that down. Oh, and a couple other things you can do this at this point is select this area and inset it a little. Like move these in on the x-axis, and that would create some separation from like the jaw to the neck area. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but you can also move the quote-unquote front face region 1 loop back. So what I like to do, this was where we extruded the face from, but move it 1 back, like the face area, like this. But that's up to you. Give your character the head that you want to give. Don't worry, we'll have a video on texturing it as well. And that's all the time I got for this video, but I will continue to share more of the process. Once again, these files are available on Patreon. And by the way, thank you to everyone who has supported my course that's upcoming on Colosso. You guys are truly the GOATs, and if you missed the coupon and were maybe waiting for the coupon to run back, there is now another opportunity. This one's a $40 coupon, and it'll be available from the release of this video up until Saturday, May 16, 11 AM EST. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have yourselves a good night.